So the interview process was interesting because, anything can happen in court, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're a trial lawyer, you got to be ready for a judge who's, maybe going to throw a wild card, or somebody on the other side who's going to say something or do something unexpected. So I think his idea was he wanted to see if he could rattle you. So the way that the interview worked to get a job in the DA's office at the time was that you had to do an opening statement. So you would come in, you'd prepared this. It was an opening statement about a little old lady in Hempstead. She's walking down the street and she gets her pocketbook taken. So you're a prosecutor, you're going to do the opening statement. So, I was an actor, and we could talk about that a little bit at some point. So I wanted to do it in a dramatic way. So I did the whole thing. The night is September 8th, 1984.
Building the scene in
building
everyone's
the
head.
scene. Lillian Harrison, 67 years old, is walking down Main Street. She's got her purse over her right shoulder. Inside that purse is $75, what she had made that day working at the office that she worked at. She hears footsteps behind her. They're distant at first, but then they get louder and closer. She turns over her right shoulder, sees a man she will never forget. The face of a man, this man, the defendant, James Johnson. So I'm doing this whole thing, and I think I'm doing pretty well with it. In the middle of it, he goes, just, excuse me. Yeah, I got to make a phone call, but just keep going. He picks up the phone. Now I'm saying he and I are the only two in the room. So I'm now, basically talking to the wall, doing my thing. But I don't get rattled. I stay the course.
Let's go.
Gimme.
Let's
So, right? So what else are you going to do? So a little bit further into it, he says, stop. I go, yeah. He goes, it's getting really hot in here. Do you mind going over there and opening that window? So I go, no, okay. So I walk over. The window is about 5 feet wide in the old county court building. 2 big handles at the bottom of the window. So I reach, I pull on the window. Doesn't budge. Doesn't move. All right. Take a deep breath, and now I pull it with all of my might, every bit of strength. He goes, you're a big guy. I would think you'd be able to open a window.
Damn.
I'm like, oh, man. I'm going to lose this job because I can't open a window. I pull with all my might. The window doesn't open. He goes, you know what? Just sit. All right, just sit down. Sit down. So now I sit down. My God, I'm going to blow this whole interview. He's got his head in his hand. He goes, listen, it says here you were an intern in this office. Is that true? I'm like, yeah. He goes, it says you work for a guy named Dan O'Brien. Is that true? I said, yes, I did. He goes, what do you think Dan O'Brien would say if I called him on the phone right now and asked him about you? I said, well, I think he'd say good things. I worked hard. I was punctual. I did memos for him, and I researched law. He said, okay, let's find out. Shh. Takes the phone.
Oh, that's
Dials
cold right in
the
front.
I'm sitting there. He goes, yeah, Dan, listen, I just had this guy in here, Rick Collins. He's throwing your name around like he's your best friend. What's up with this guy? It seems like there's something a little wrong with him. What? Women's clothes?
Oh,
thank you. Women's clothes. Now, I have no idea what he's talking about. I have no idea. But at this point, I feel like I got nothing to lose, right? I mean, I couldn't open the window. I'm a mess.
I would have kicked the window out.
So, I almost broke. So I said, he goes, women's clothes? I go, yeah. He goes, when? I go, now. He starts laughing. He goes, I'm sitting you onto a panel. You're going to a panel. He wanted to see if he could rattle you. And when he saw I was doing okay with the opening statement.
I'm sure some people fucking sweat.
Oh, I'm sure some people would. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I've never
aggressive over the pressure.
I don't have a brassiere on, I swear.
Right. He wanted to see if you'd crack under the pressure. And so, when he couldn't rattle me with the making a phone call and then opening the window.
So the window didn't actually open?
The window was painted shut in 1957. The window could not be opened under
I was
any.
expecting to hear you rip the paint out of the window.
Right,
as
yeah,
if it was
yeah,
painted
yeah.
shut.
The whole
Man,
thing.
believe me, John, I tried. I did the very best, and I had a good deadlift then, and I still couldn't do
The
it.
next guy probably got it fine because you weakened it.
Maybe,
They go, oh
maybe.
shit.
No, it was there was no moving it.
Yeah.
So it was just his way of of testing to see.